We're doing submission escapes. Like I said, I'm just doing one for each, just showing you what I think usually always works, what I see working most of the time. So you have one good escape for each submission, whether you're doing sport, mixed martial arts, whatever. It's good. Okay, and just keep trying. These are really good escapes, so just keep trying them over and over and over and over until you get really good at them. And I really wouldn't move on to anything until they're absolutely perfect and they're always working for you. Then you can begin to sequence escapes and be a little more advanced. That happens more like in the gi game, I think. In no gi game, it's it's a little different, especially in mixed martial arts. You see guys going more for like single direct attack and then moving to another submission entirely instead of adjusting within that submission. Right? So you really get really good at one thing. If you can't do one escape, you're not going to. It doesn't do you any good to have 5 escapes that you're like 10% good at. Not even good at anything. All right. So here we were working on the Kimura. He goes to get it. So what I said here was, before when we were doing the Kimura, I said, watch this side. Because if we do the prevention, he feels, see here, he feels he's not going to get it. He's going to sequence. He's going to move right to a guillotine. This is a very, very popular combination. So now let's talk about it. Let's say he does, okay? Just to keep things in sequence. So he's here, he's got the guillotine. Now, I'm not going to tell you, don't worry about your neck. I'm not going to say, a lot of guys like to put their hand here just to hold his hand away. It's not a terrible idea, but it's not what makes the escape work. Right? So you can put it there if you're comfortable. Like if you feel like you're getting choked or you feel it's bothering your neck, you're gagging, you can take this hand and just cup his hand here. What I find when I tell people to do that is they start moving their head up and exposing their neck more. So that's why usually, and they ignore the main principle. The main principle to this escape is going to be getting your shoulder close to his face and putting your head on the floor. That's the main principle. When you're doing this, you're going the opposite way. When you go this way, you need your head down on the floor. If you do this, you're going the wrong way. So do it if you can remember all the other steps. Otherwise, when you practice this the first few times, just get with your partner and let him do it really light so that you do everything technically correct. Now, it's one of the biggest problems. If you start practicing and the guy's like yanking on stuff, you're going to be really sloppy. It's not going to help you. So if you want to be good to your training partner, everything we do here should be done really light until all the details of the technique are almost perfect. Nothing's perfect, but close, right? And you got it all down, right? Because otherwise, if he's yanking on it, you're going to start making weird mistakes. You're going to do things weird. One thing I will tell you about guillotines too: if you're a big guy, you're very muscular and you're very confident, and you don't choke right away. One good thing is as soon as the guy comes up to do this, just remember, see how he's not at the base of my head here? One thing you just might want to try immediately is just popping your head out right away. Just don't go down with him if you don't have to. It's just a tip. It's not going to be the main bulk of our escape. But you see a lot of guys can get away with this. A lot of big guys. Just shrug your shoulders a little and try to pull your head out. It's just one thing. As soon as it happens to you, just try that. So as soon as anyone gets, so especially from here, because I'm already up, as soon as a guy gets that, try to just try to realize that that's happening. Start to get good enough where you realize, as soon as a guy does put his arm over me like that, he wants a guillotine. Don't go down with him. Because you don't have the concept yet of good guard passing, and your butt doesn't stay on the floor. One thing I like about good guard passing is I'm always here and my butt stays on the floor if I'm doing low guard passing. So when you're here, you're in a low guard passing situation. So in other words, if I'm here like this and he comes up for some reason, he comes for the guillotine, you can notice that as he does, I won't let my butt off the floor. See, it's hard for him to get. I'll be here and I'll just get him off. The reason the guillotine is happening to most of you is because when he does this, he goes for the guillotine, your butt comes off the floor. And then that makes it easy for him to get. So just some things to keep in mind, like preliminary things. But for now, let's just say you got caught in it. So here, when he does get it, what I want to do is, even if I'm down, my butt's off the floor, he may extend his hips, which will really be bad for me. So what I want to do is I want to cover that distance with the outside arm. Here. Now, if I can't, let's say it's back here. You see how I can't get here? I get here. So here, just loosen up for a second. So just this part here, I want to get ideally here, the shoulder close to his neck. But if he extends his hips, I'm going to be like this, which is bad for several reasons. One, he can get like secondary submissions. Two, I'm not going to get out like this. So if this happens, watch what I do. I'm here, and he starts to extend his hips. I'm going to bring him back up with me. Why? So that I can get this arm where I want it. So I put this hand on the floor and come up. Pick him up. Bring him right up to you. Once I get this, then I feel comfortable that my shoulder is in his neck. Then I can come back down here. So you see the angle I have. I don't feel like I'm going to get rolled. I have a nice tripod with everything. Okay, I'm pushing in his neck. You feel almost that, it's kind of making you, it's like choking you, making you want to let go. Alright, one little nasty trick I'll show you too. When you come down, you can make a fist. Alright, that is nasty on the guy's back. Here, so I get it, I want to do it for low. And here, here, when I get this, make a fist. Here, some guys like this, I can't turn my wrist all the way, so I just do this. I come down. Okay, he's letting go immediately. He's like just letting go of the thing. It really works. It's a good trick. Alright, so the two things. One, make sure that you see this is not good enough. I see guys do this because for a good guillotine, he wants to extend his hips. So if I have this and I start to come up, I'm never going to get out. He's going to get me. Okay? So I'm putting my head on the floor, but I want to make sure that the shoulder's close to his neck. Right, so if he gets it here, and I can't get my shoulder, look at all the space between my right shoulder and his neck, I'll pick him back up. Here. Head to the floor. I can make the fist if I want, but just for the demo, I'm going to keep it here. And I drive all my weight of my shoulder into his neck. Okay? I'm going to try not to put him to sleep here, so I'll loosen it up. What I'm doing now is a lot of guys try to pry this leg open like this. It doesn't work. You have to do this. You see, I can't. You don't want to do this. You get yourself put in another submission. Don't do this. You'll never get your hand in this way. You're not going to get his arms off here. Bring your elbow to yourself and pry out. That's how you get these legs open. So I'm loosening on him so I don't put him to sleep. But I would be tighter with my right shoulder. I'd be here, so notice my knee's on the ground on the other side. It should really be like this the whole time. Okay, but here, prying out. Once I pry, I make a connection between my left elbow and my left knee. Why? So he can't get back in and close his guard. Once I do that, I thread it through and I keep the hook here. I keep my foot over his leg so he cannot get half guard. I then bring this leg, see how I make a good base with my hand? I bring this leg through and over, two hooks, because I'm going this way. I will then step over, okay, and work my way around. If he still had my head, I simply move around him so it comes right out. Alright, so once again, I'll do it a little faster so I don't hurt Neil. The thing about that is I'm getting my shoulder so deep, it's pushing out his neck. Okay, so I've done this escape, demonstrated it, and sat there talking and put the guy to sleep. So you want to be careful. So I'll do it a little faster. He's here. Okay, up. Make the connection. Close. Up. Through. Over. He's letting go already. But over. Step over. A lot of pressure now with that right shoulder. On his neck. Okay, and through. All right. If he holds it, continue to walk around him. Everyone understand the details?